From Boston, Massachusetts, to Adelaide, Australia, and everywhere in between. Talking local and national sports and just about anything discussed in a tavern. Broadcasting from South Lyon, Michigan. Welcome to Easy Speak at Speakeasy 330 with your hosts, Rich and Tom.
Okay, can people hear us now? They might be able to hear us now.
I can hear an echo.
All right, then shut that off. Can people hear us now? Hello? Anybody hear us?
Hello.
Loud and clear now.
Loud
Okay.
and clear.
All right, loud and clear. Loud and
should
clear.
we start back from the beginning? What? Okay, so we just started. So we're talking about.
All right, so hold on. Let's go back to the beginning. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to go back to the beginning.
We were just
All
talking
right, so
about
we were talking about the Chris Stapleton concert.
yep, and what we were doing.
We were talking about
pre-show.
Friday, Andy coming
Yep.
over with his shit.
With the shit. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
wild and crazy here in the speakeasy on Friday night, which they tend to get a little bit wild and crazy, and had to shut the door because somebody kept turning the volume up higher and higher, and we didn't want
Who's that?
We didn't want a visit from
Who's that?
South Lions Finest show back up at the old 3:30.
Okay, so anyway, so then we went to just to catch everybody up because they couldn't read our lip singing. Andy said he's a good thing he's a pro lip reader. I don't know what kind of lips he's talking about, but whatever. Hey, whatever flogs your log.
The South Lips.
So anyway, we stopped at this place called Alex's, and it is a gas station, full service market with pre-made foods, tons of liquor, by the way, a great selection of liquor, beer.
How tall is that wall? Like 20, 25 feet?
Yeah. And then they had a bistro upstairs with
a bowling alley.
And Derek would probably like that. Derek would probably be like, okay.
It was a 4-lane bowling alley.
4-lane bowling alley. It was nice.
Top of the steps.
Yep.
A little bit of everything in there. In the middle of nowhere.
And you're goddamn right in the middle of nowhere.
The back half of Clarkston, just before you get into White Lake, it's literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And this giant, it looks like a space station. It actually made an appearance on Barstool Sports about 2 months ago, which was really cool. So I'm curious to know the foot traffic that created.
If it was anything like Freddy the Pizza Man, it's got to be a lot of foot traffic.
Right.
But the food there was great. That burger was good.
Yep. They had a Mediterranean.
Yeah, it was more of a Mediterranean fare. Yeah.
Not my style, but the burger was fantastic. So.
But since we're talking about burgers, we want to remind everybody that's on August 28th around noon. A Sandwich Palooza number 4.
Yep.
At the Butchery in Sylvan Lake on Orchard Lake Road. You have to go there and give it a shot. It's and
I seen
it's definitely some good stuff.
Somebody on Twitter was requesting French fries for this one.
Yes.
That Jay Ralph said that he probably could. Chef Dave could probably concoct that up, because what's a burger without fries?
Yeah.
He's got a good point.
So Andy says you were 1 mile from my yard at Alex's. So I take it Andy's been there before.
Oh, I'm sure.
If they got a mean burger, and that dude looks like he can eat. But here's the thing we want to talk about him. So he came over and he's like, "Hey, look, my wife Amber, sweet lady, sweet. It's our cheat day."
Oh.
So then I'm like, you know what? This guy's pretty cool. Whatever. Became Facebook friends, and then next thing you know, the next day somebody is at the Golden Corral.
Uh-oh.
Cheat day,
Cheating
2
again.
days in a row.
You want to just keep it rolling. Just, hey, they blew the doors open. Let's just go down the road.
Yeah, I tell you right now, that Southline Hotel pizza really opens the floodgates when it comes to eating crap for food.
It's probably maybe slightly higher than Pins, in my estimation.
No, Pins sucks, dude. Don't even start. Don't even start that shit. Hey,
no,
that'd be good. That would be a good taste testing between the two. So that's
do a blind pizza taste test.
Man, we even got Amber watching. Amber's laughing right now, so that's awesome.
All right. Now, normally I could see the comments and whatnot, but we've decided to rearrange the speakeasy, so we have a little bit of graphics here. So now I'm flying blind here. I can't see anything.
People can see the graphics.
They can see the graphics.
They can see the graphics that you're putting up there.
Good.
I'm the one that's controlling whether or not people see the graphics or not.
Well,
see, right now, it's camera 1.
Yeah, camera 1.
That's camera 3.
Camera 2. Camera 1.
This is camera 2.
Camera 2.
Camera 1.
Camera 1.
Camera 3.
Camera 2. So yeah, normally I'm able to see the comments, but unfortunately I can't. We'll have to do some crunching around.
I have a monitor, so we'll be all set for next time. That. So anyway, so let's get back. So Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. There's 2 things that were epic at Chris Stapleton. The first and foremost, the man's got a set of pipes on him, and he can sing. It sounds just
if you
like
had your
you
eyes
download
closed,
it.
You thought they were playing him like the CD or whatever.
The second thing, unfreaking believable people watching. Unfreaking real.
You take Walmart, Menards, and Dollar General, and you mash them all together, And that's what you got Saturday night at Old Pine Knob.
What is going on with the high-waisted jeans
Oh,
cut off right below the ass cheek? It looks like you got a gigantic fupa. It's terrible.
and then they're all,
then they're wearing belly shirts.
uh-huh.
But here's the thing.
But the butt, they're
Here-
buttoned right here, like right under their boobs.
Oh.
It's god awful. I'm sorry, ladies out there. I'm just sorry. I think that style is terrible. The 70s
And the
are
boots.
long gone.
And the boots.
Yeah.
And they all had boots on.
Yep. 70s are long gone. Hell, even the 80s are long gone. I don't want to revisit that. It's terrible.
You know who probably likes those high-waisted jeans?
Okay.
Andre the Giant.
Oh, well,
I bet you he does.
there's probably a good chance.
I bet you, I'm waiting for him to chime in on that, but I bet you he would probably consider that the Honda Spree of the mopeds, probably. So anyway, so unbelievable concert, unbelievable.
And
what 22 songs?
22 songs set. Played for almost. Actually, it went for about 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And his ability to play guitar and sing at the same time, just I was blown away.
I mean, the band was great too.
Oh,
I mean, his wife was up
Yep.
there singing with them and everything like
and
that.
the guy, the least likely candidate to be from Detroit, Michigan, was the steel guitar player.
Oh yeah,
From Detroit, Michigan. That place erupted when they announced that.
Yeah. It was good. I mean,
it was fantastic.
All in all, we didn't go in and see the openers. We kind of hung out in the parking lot and tailgated. Well,
and then we hung out at the entrance waiting for everybody to get
so people are probably not going to believe me when I say this, but folks, I only had one beer.
This is true.
I only had one.
We're breaking news.
One 12-ounce beer.
You got breaking news?
One 12-ounce. Nah, it's not breaking
Well,
news.
why did Mr. Jasper breaking news?
Yeah, I had one beer.
Rich Jasper,
One beer.
4-to-1 ratio, had one beer, but I only had three. Why was that, Rich? Why?
Well, I'm sure Mr. Andy can probably vouch for this one.
Yep.
It's safe to say I've overserved myself on Friday night, and I have nobody to blame but myself. I got nobody to blame but me.
So we reloaded the keg inside the speakeasy. Ice cold Miller Lite was flowing, and I don't think Rich's glass was more than half empty most of the night.
Oh no. Yeah. Let's just say I didn't hurt myself. Well, and it started off. I went and hung out with my buddy. Big Hesty. Big Hesty. So I hung out with
seen
Hesty
that
before
picture on
that.
Facebook, and I'm like, oh boy, we're in trouble now.
Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is. So so the concert was great. We made it home around 12:30. But here's the funny thing about Friday night. A huge limb in my front yard came within feet.
Yep.
From wiping my car out.
3:00 in the morning.
And I didn't hear a damn thing.
3:00 in the morning, my dogs start getting restless. What the hell? And I get up and I walk into the living room and I see a fire truck in front of the house. And I'm thinking to myself, what the and I run out. I'm in like shorts and that's it. No shirt on. I come running out. I look like that belligerent
Good thing
neighbor.
Good thing it was 3 in the morning.
And there was three South Lyon fire department or fire trucks, an ambulance, and about 4 or 5 cop cars. And they are cutting up this massive limb that is strewn across the middle of the road. 3:00 in the morning, there's 4 firefighters out there with chainsaws just going to town. I'm like, holy shit. So we text Rich the next morning, like, Rich, what happened? Did you hear?
Man, it's a nice little wind going on here.
And you say
well,
to
hold
me,
on here. Hold on. Back up. I started a text message thread with everybody because I sent a text out that said, did anybody get the number of that bus that ran me over last night?
The struggle bus.
Christina also said it was the same bus for me. And then it went, hey, did you hear about that limb that fell and almost hit your car?
Mm-hmm.
I woke up, looked out the window, and, peeled through the blinds. Man, that's okay. But here's the great thing about it was, God bless the fire department. They came and cleaned that up.
Sure.
They only left a little piece in my front yard.
Oh,
They left everything else in my neighbor's yard.
Poor
And
Allison and the other.
Hey, not Allison didn't get it. It's the guy next door, the guy across the street, the guy next door to me. Listen here. Guess who went cleaning it up?
Oh, well.
Me.
That's
not my tree. It's the city's tree. It's the city's tree.
And you wonder how I slept through 2 shotgun blasts down at good old boy's house.
You were over at Bo's house. Hey man, I got my chickens. 2 shotgun blasts. It didn't wake you up at all.
But my guesstimation is lightning, which we had a bit of a storm here this afternoon, and a bolt of lightning, I swear it landed right in the front yard. Scared the shit out of me. I almost fell out of my chair at work.
Did you cry?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I did not. I had to calm the dogs down because they started going crazy.
Exactly. So that was pretty much our eventful weekend that we had.
So I definitely highly recommend when he comes back around town to go see him. If you're a fan of, even if the Tennessee whiskey, you will be impressed. Definitely would advise anyone to go that likes country music. Andy, I know you're just getting into country, and you do know Chris Stapleton from the other band he's in. You would have had a great time. He's fantastic. So,
dude, I really want to know who the person is from Twitch that's watching right now. I really do. Because I want to give him props.
Is it Sacco?
I don't know, because you can't see who's up there, but you can see the
somebody.
You can see the analytics, and there's one on Twitch.
Well, that's good.
And
we appreciate it. So if you're listening, the Twitch viewer,
shout out.
Yeah, send a comment,
send
something. Yeah, and
just don't ask me what color socks I have on right now
or underwear.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah,
it was kind of weird.
But hey, that was cool. He was listening from England.
Yeah. So also Noonan said it's Swingle.
Swingle.
Like there's no way I wish it was Swingle. I really, you know what?
No, Swingle's.
Wait, hold on here. So Pat's listening right now.
This is the first.
So, no, he's chimed in a couple times. So, Joe Swingle, I guess he's quite the barbecuer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We need to have
you know what?
A cook-off.
That guy spends a lot of money on cards and memorabilia, but he spends even more money on his cut of ribs. Because he had.
What's this guy?
He had some.
What's he got growing in the backyard? Money tree.
He had some square cuts on the rib. They look pretty good. Not as good as mine though, but I'll tell you right now, nowhere near as good as mine. But they looked okay.
Of course.
So.
Tiger
shit the bed this weekend.
What a disappointing weekend. They came in hot, winning a series here against Boston. They go down to the Guardian town and down a game and a half. The opportunity to maybe get in the second place in the Central, which at this point in the season would be pretty remarkable to think about. And they came out flat as a pancake.
Hold on. Whoa.
We got it?
Whoa.
Twitch guy?
Whoa. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Breaking news?
Oh, no.
I don't know. I can't see.
I want to welcome this guy to the show. This man by the name of Joseph, don't call me late for dinner, Swingle. Swingle's on here. Oh,
Start
boy.
the passing.
No. Here you go. Noonan already set it up right now. He said we need to have a barbecue throwdown with Jasper and Swingle.
Yeah. Come on out.
Joe, thanks for tuning in, man. We really appreciate the support. So anyway, Tiger shit the bed.
Yep. They went into this past weekend with high hopes, and that's kind of been the story of their year. They've played really well at home, and then they go on the road, and the tide kind of changes, which you're going to expect that from a young team. But I think a lot of people were really riding high, knowing what they were able to do, especially that getaway game against Boston. They dominated them. They dominated that series. And
now let me ask you this question on those getaway games. So you see those getaway games, and normally you don't have your hot pitchers going. It really depends on how the rotation falls, but it seems like it always falls the getaway game.
Sure.
You got to scrub pitching.
And it's Tyler Alexander who he pitched Saturday night.
Yeah.
Pitched a gem.
So, but you see that or whatever, and the Tigers just go and they just shoot their whole load that game, and that's it. And then they
get
fall
away.
flat.
They get away and they leave it at Comerica, and but just it was a disappointment. But we got some good news Saturday that Jonathan Scope extended 2 years, which
you know what, and I do like this contract. It's a 2-year, $15 million deal. But however, there's a buyout after 1 year. So if he has a huge year and given his agent, I'm surprised his agent even had a deal like that, because Scott Boras is not a guy to do those types of deals.
And that's definitely a team friendly contract for sure, especially somebody who's he's carried the team for quite a while.
He said load !
But that was good. I think he's good for the young guys on this team. He's figured out how to play first base. It was a little shaky at first, but I think he's settled into that position, and pretty much Miggy's the DH from here on out, unless they play a National League team on the road. But that's good. I'd like to see them maybe bring back Grossman. I think he could come back on the cheap, and you need that veteran leadership. But the cool thing I heard over the weekend was Chris Ilitch was asked about, when can we expect to see some money being spent? Like, this team seems like they're right on the precipice of doing some good things. And he says, "Oh, it's happening." And it could happen as early as this offseason, which I have a feeling Mr. AJ Hinch took a little walk up into the general manager's office to say, "Listen, we are in dire need of middle infield help."
You saying Zach Short's just not cutting it, huh?
I'll get to that in a minute. We need help, and there's a guy that I'm a little familiar with by the name of Carlos Correa, who I was his manager when he Rookie of the Year, MVP, World Series champion. They've got a good relationship. Hey, he's in a position where we need. And let's face it, what's our payroll? $60 million?
Oh, Noonan said it's happening.
$60 million, and half of that's Miggy. So let's do it.
Yeah, Noonan.
And that's a piece that you could take. You could sign him, and just like back when they brought in Pudge. They brought in Pudge, then they brought in Maglio, and the rest is history. And
I mean, because what it's going to do is you get the one guy in there.
That's all it takes.
Everybody else is just going to kind of filter in through there. And they're going to want to play with guys like this.
Sure.
And seeing that they do have a lot of cash. Oh, can you imagine if they just unloaded that Miggy contract? If they unloaded that contract, how much money they'd really have.
But think about if they put Correa behind Miggy, or Miggy or Correa in front of Miggy.
I honestly hope he gets 500. And he gets to 3,000. If I would just walk off the field and be done. Please,
I don't.
Please do me that favor.
I don't think that's going to happen. But I think Chris Ilitch realizes that there's potential here, but it's going to take more than what they have. It's going to take somebody, a big name, and he's going to have to go back into his dad's textbook and go that route. Unfortunately,
his dad didn't have a textbook; he had a checkbook.
Well, whatever the case may be.
So Pat wants to know if you're familiar with the song by Joni Mitchell, "Pave Paradise and Put Up a Parking Lot." Regards, Chris Ilitch.
Well, that's all they've done down there in Detroit is make a parking lot. The Ilitch family did nothing but fleece the city of Detroit, but that's a whole nother issue. But
yeah, please don't get no. Let's not get started on that. Let's stay on track here, buddy.
So definitely hearing Ilitch, and that was my biggest concern, like going in to the his dad passing and him taking over. I was worried about him not doing what it was going to take to turn this team into a winning team again. Because let's face it, when that team was hot, and that was the hottest tick in town. It was so cool being down there. The atmosphere was great. There's nothing like winning baseball in this city.
Not only that, though, if you look at it now, everything is in that area right now.
Right.
Like, if you go in, like, can you imagine a playoff game, in October?
And they're going to have that big screen down at the Pizza Palace.
Was it the beer garden?
Yeah, they're going to load that up. And it's just, it takes money to make money. And if you want to win which you're going to fill that place up. You even remotely show any signs.
Yeah, but see here now, like you said, he said, "Hey, look, I'm going to spend some money."
Mm-hmm.
But Suck in the last couple of years kind of, I guess, eased the burden a little bit because look what they did.
Well, they got rid of a lot of contracts.
Well, not only that though, they also picked up a lot of young players.
A nucleus.
Yeah,
a nucleus of guys that you.
I'll tell you right now. I don't even want to give the guy credit, but I mean, Avila did pretty good. He did pretty good, but I still think he sucks and needs to go.
I credit their scouting, their advanced scouting, for being able to spot like Tarek Skubal. Like that guy was drafted way low, and they brought him in and he excelled through the minors, and now he's in the rotation. But Avila just. He hasn't pulled the trigger on a lot of big names, and I think that's probably not his call. But drafting wise, I mean they're rated number 2 in baseball, and you got to credit him that a little bit for that. So like we've talked before, the future's really bright with this team, and you throw a couple big names into that puzzle. Correa is still young; he's like 27. You can get 5 years out of him at least.
Yeah, no, I mean you can, but here's my thing is, and we've talked about this to great lengths and everything like that. I'm not a huge fan of just getting these big ass contracts in for guys that, well, hey, you did great with the Houston Astros. I'm going to pay you for that.
Right.
I'm not going to pay you for what you're going to do. I am not a fan of that.
But he's been consistent and he's still young. It's not a Miggy situation where they were going long-term in the hopes of the now. So they were sacrificing where we're at now for getting a championship in 2012 or whatever, when they signed him, which didn't work out. So now you're seeing the negative effect of that.
Yeah.
But with Correa, I think he's young enough and he's been consistently a leader on the field. And I think if there's one thing this team lacks is who's the captain?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you look at Scope as the guy, and Miggy, I don't think he's vocal enough, but hey, I'm excited about it. It rings 2006 all over again with the young talent we had, and you throw some decent players in the mix, and you never know. We could be playing October baseball, meaningful October baseball.
Yeah. Well, let's give a shout out to George. Hip Hip's on right now.
Hip,
he
hip.
said, hey, boys, how you doing? George is up north again. It seems like the guy goes on vacation every other
to have his job
every other Sunday. Seems like he goes on vacation, but if you guys haven't heard, I'd like go check out those guys, the OC podcast.
Oh yes.
Right now we are they're probably like a bi-weekly right now just because of the way things are going, but you get a chance, check them out.
Yep.
iLogic Media.
Sure.
You can catch them on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah. George says, well, go after and get Javi Baez.
I mean, either way, you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
with
you
either
can't.
one of them.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with one.
I think they're one and the same player for the most part. Javi's just a little bit younger, and I mean, power at that position and defensive skills, sliding ability.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
So also some, even though the Lion or the Tigers shit the bed, I guess there's some talks going on in MLB between the MLB and Barstool.
Yeah.
I know that's going to hype up one individual we know because he's a huge Barstool fan, but it would be nice to see. It would definitely be nice to see them maybe do something partnership wise, but then I really am kind of leery about having a sports book.
Yep.
That
which they are
that heavily intertwined with the professional
baseball.
sports.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's my only concern. Not that I think that would be the case, but then again, you've seen a lot of weirder things. So,
well, I look at it this way. I see Manfred looking at baseball ratings are down.
Noonan said that George is by, not Pat. So,
So
George is the bi-weekly show. And then, you know what? And we're going to start off and we're going to do our Perfectly Centered podcast.
Yes.
Featuring Pat Noonan and Joe Swingle.
The PSA 10 crew. But anyways, Manfred looks at baseball. They're a little, ratings aren't where he needs to be. The game is kind of taking the back seat to the NBA and the NFL. And what better way to try and boost viewership, boost attendance by getting involved with probably the biggest name in sports, whether it's gambling, whether it's podcasting.
Yeah, they're doing more than just that.
They're sports cards. They're the pinnacle right now. And when you attach your name to Barstool, that's an instant success story. So how much of that is involved with MLB's thinking like let's get a partnership with these guys? Are they looking at it that it might increase their viewership, or people might be more interested in going to games? Maybe they're going to set up a sports book type of.
If it might be, it could be beneficial for both. And like you said, viewership's down with Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They made some changes here in their hopes that it would
speeding up the game.
Yeah,
I'm a baseball guy. I don't care if I go to a game and it's 4 hours. Cool. If I go to a game and it's 2 hours. Cool.
Yeah, but see, the thing, there's fans like you and I that genuinely
few and far between.
They're very few and far between, and they're more into the they're more into the quick like the quick satisfaction. Like you don't really see
instant gratification.
Yeah, you don't see many people just sitting there watching the entire game. Mostly it's more of a social event for the most part.
They want to post on Instagram.
But being at a social event, in Barstool being involved with that, you are going to get you're going to get people through the gates.
Yep.
No, you get people at the gates, really.
And if you set up some kind of like a parlay or some situation that you could do while you're at the game, you know what? Some people might be more apt to go to a ball game.
Well, here's an interesting comment that just got sent in or whatever. But George says, but keep Pete Rose banned! Exclamation point. Effing hypocrites. You know what? I agree with you 100%.
Is this the beginning? Is this Manfred's way of saying, okay, we're going to open the door now? Frankly, my opinion, I think they're waiting for Pete Rose to die before they put him in the Hall of Fame.
They don't want to give him that satisfaction.
Absolutely. Because he's never really apologized for the most part. And, he's admitted he did it, but.
And Manfred's getting lit up right now in the comments. Manfred's the worst. Need a forward-thinking commissioner. I agree. Pat, I agree. I think he's terrible. I think he's absolutely he's terrible.
Is he worse than Bettman?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Oh, shaky?
Dude, Bettman's terrible. Bettman, I don't know.
Looking bad
well, here's
days.
Another thing. Roger ain't looking too smooth either with some of the shit he's done either. So, they work for the owners. That's what it is. But I honestly think that Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Before anything like this happens, I agree, George, 100%. Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
You put him in based on his stats and what he did on the baseball field, his skill set, and the way he's called Charlie Hustle for a reason. The guy blew out. I can't think of his name in the All-Star game.
Yeah, and the guy never played.
Yeah, and he never played again. And it's just, and you're going to keep him out of the Hall. It's stupid. But again, I firmly believe he will be a Hall of Famer once he's dead and in the ground. Which by the looks of some of those pictures from the boys at the National, it looks like that's coming real soon.
He's pickled. So George put on there, he goes, he heard a great quote. Gambling was bad for baseball until it was great for baseball.
Oh, well, that goes with all sports.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got professional sports teams in Las Vegas. Like, who'd have thought of that was going to ever happen? 10 years ago, you would have never thought that was going to happen.
Like taboo 10 years ago.
And they put the NHL, which kudos to Gary Bettman for taking the risk because he knew he needed a boost in ratings and viewership. So let's go to Vegas.
But here's the thing is having a team in Sin City and then having a sports book affiliated with a league is two different things.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. It just kind of broke recently, and so I significant was used. So and I know Portnoy made a comment last week, said there was major news happening, and he came out today and said that this is what the major news was. And so I mean, it's probably something that's not going to happen until maybe next season or so. But interesting for both entities to see how it's going to work.
Yeah. Now let's talk about something that everybody wants to talk about. the number 1 draft pick. Summer league starts.
Yep.
What do you score? 11, 12
He had
points?
12 today.
Yeah. Is that cause for concern, you think?
No, I mean, he hasn't played
It's
basketball.
early. It's early.
He hasn't played competitive basketball in several months. He's not playing with the guys that he's going to be suiting up with on a regular basis. Could he be more? I don't think he's going out there to give 100%. To risk injury.
I think it's probably just
whatnot.
going through the motions.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Just getting a little bit of time.
He turned the ball over. You know what? There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Number 1 pick. He had more turnovers than assists, and I'm not worried at all because once he gets on the court and he's a piece of that puzzle and he doesn't have to be the guy. Right now, everybody's looking at him as he's the guy, and on that squad, he's the guy, and there's a lot of pressure for a number 1 guy. So once he gets next to Sadiq and Olenek and those guys that have been in the league a year or 2 or longer, I think he's going to come into his own when the pressure is not exactly on him fully. So I'm not concerned at all.
No, he's not. He's not surrounded with a bunch of.
Dwayne Casey's going to put him in a situation where he's going to succeed. So that's not a worry for me.
So another Detroit thing that happened yesterday. Calvin Johnson in Canton. I'll tell you right now.
Did you watch?
I watched it, and I'm going to tell you something. That was the biggest F you.
But he did it so
eloquent.
So respectfully and professional. He mentioned his love for the fans, his love for the city, the fact that he decided to make Michigan his home. And so that was really cool. That was really cool to hear him say, and he basically went all the way back to his high school coach, and they all were there, which was even cooler.
Also, Stafford was there too, wasn't he?
Stafford was there, and you know what? I think Stafford might have got a little butthurt because his name wasn't mentioned. He just asked all his former teammates to stand up, and and they all stood up, and he said, "There's too many to mention, and you know who you are," and which was cool. I don't think he wanted to, rate one higher than the other, but just a class act, and people kind of forget what he did in college. He was brilliant. Georgia Tech's not a slouch school, and he invented a clean water system when he was in college, and he actually got it trademarked. And for these poor, impoverished countries in Africa, so they could have clean water. It's a water system that he invented and patented in college, and so you knew that leaving the NFL, he had a very bright future, and yes, it's marijuana, and yes, it's wellness, and
there's nothing wrong with it.
No,
hey, it's legal now, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep. And his affiliation with like Johns Hopkins University, Harvard, it's just he's brilliant, and I'm proud to and honored to be able to say that he's a Detroit Lion Hall of Famer and he's a resident of this state. That's pretty cool.
Well, real quick to go back on something that the comment from about baseball, Papa Sloan chimed in, said how ironic, all these teams sponsored by Bally Sports, but they can't put Pete Rose in.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, Dad, you and George are on the same level here, and I agree. I do think there's a level of hypocrisy, but it just goes to show you that money rules. Money rules. And tell me that Cooperstown wouldn't be lying down the road if they put Pete Rose in.
Well, they're down there. They're normally lined up as it is because he's hawking autographs. But don't record him. No,
God forbid.
Yeah, don't record him, please. But yeah, George came up with a couple comments on there. He said he loves Calvin. He owns that shitty organization. Nothing. Mm-hmm. And he said he invented the clean water for his bong.
Yep.
Yeah.
He might have.
He might have.
But it was interesting to hear in his speech that he got hurt his rookie year, and it was to the point where he felt like his career might be over. And he dealt with pain his entire career, and ultimately, what he says led to him walking away. Pain, upper management, what they do to Barry Sanders, who was probably the best running back in the history of the NFL. They kind of, So I'm going to walk away and with his dignity and good for him, and I know many teams probably come clamoring after him, and he stayed true, and he's successful now, and you knew that was definitely going to happen.
Man, we're gonna have to start something on Twitter. We're gonna have to start like a hashtag or whatever about Pete Rose getting in, because these comments, man. Derek's chiming in, George's, your dad, everybody's chiming in.
When we're talking about gambling,
Derek hashtag get over it already. I agree.
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah.
But the reason why they won't put him in is because he accepted it.
He will not.
He accepted a lifetime ban.
He will that.
So they'll wait for him to die.
Yep.
And they'll say, all right, he's in.
And I don't think he's willing to go and kiss MLB's ass. I think they want him to crawl on his hands and knees and say, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm ashamed of myself for what I did. I should have never done it. Will you please put me in the Hall of Fame? And Pete Rose will never do that. He never will do that.
That can be another topic for another show.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I'm glad to see that got a lot of traction, because when I read it today, I was like, that might have been the what? That might have been like, are you serious? But hey, we move on.
Oh yeah, George even said it. He won't get in until Shoeless Joe gets in. You know what?
There's another one. I mean, hey,
here's the thing is that whole Black Sox thing. They were not all involved in that.
They weren't all involved,
but they all went down with the ship.
Look at his stats in that World Series.
Oh, yeah.
He was unbelievable. Yeah. He batted probably over 400. He hit 4 or 5 home runs.
Yeah.
Fielding percentage was almost 1,000. Mm-hmm. Clearly he wasn't throwing the series.
Yeah.
But this is definitely something we could look at in the future. Top athletes, and I think we talked about it before, top athletes who are not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Future shows, anybody wants to participate. For sure.
Yeah. But George even said, he goes, last I checked, Shoeless Joe is dead and still not in.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And I heard he's blind in one eye too.
So anyway,
on the topic of the Lions, preseason football starts this Friday. This Friday, and there's a lot of optimism around here. A lot of optimism.
A lot.
And is it, positive? I mean, is it a good thing? I mean, I think every year right around this time, people are optimistic, but
is it because of DC?
I think it's MCDC who gave a nice speech in front of the
dude,
season ticket. He sounds like somebody that just crawled out from the
WWE
underneath the trailer fixing the skirting. In a single line.
No. He's more of like a WWE guy.
Yeah. But he wanted to build that fire.
Yeah,
you need some fuel,
and we're gonna be the gasoline for that fire.
You all are gonna be the fuel.
Yep.
After we get our hot dogs and our beers.
Get a marshmallows for the kids. Hey, wine for the wife.
Yeah. I love the fact that he's goofy as shit. He doesn't care what people think about him. He just cares what we think about him. And I love the guy. I was
you almost want to run through a brick wall for the guy.
I'm telling you. And I think that will resonate on the field. And Orlovsky or Dan Orlovsky.
Is this the same guy that stepped out of the end zone?
This is
okay. All right.
Who might be a massive douchebag as well. He came out today and said that he really thinks they're going to compete in the North, and he thinks that their offense is going to be a lot better than people are saying, and that this is the perfect situation for Jared Goff. There's no pressure.
Yeah,
no pressure.
Realistically, from LA to Detroit, Detroit is a smaller market.
Sure.
Smaller market area, not crazy fan base,
right.
But
the lights aren't as bright.
Yes.
He's got a coach that's player friendly, and he's got an offensive coordinator in Anthony Lynn who's done it. He's been there. He's a head coach, and Mark Brunell, the quarterback coach. I mean, he went to an AFC championship. He knows how to win. I believe that Jared Goff is going to do well for this team. I don't know if he's going to be where he was, 3 years ago or whenever they were 2 years ago when they were in the Super Bowl. But I feel pretty good about what he can do. Offensive line is going to be great. And I like our backfield.
George says the Lions will win the Super Bowl.
In the preseason?
I just didn't say what year.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. And you and I have had long discussions, and a lot of people know that I don't have the biggest fan for the Detroit Lions. It seems like every time they just let you down every time. It's like going up and asking the hot girl to go out on a date with you, and she tells you no.
Yeah,
it's all the time. And so this time around feels a little bit different. It feels a little bit different.
I agree. I do. And the coaches he's brought in, they're all guys that have been there and done that, and you can really get behind, and it's exciting. So with that being said, what are some of the things that you hope to see coming out of the preseason? Obviously, no injuries. You don't want to see any impact player, because really they can't afford to lose their star players that they have. But for me, I'm excited to see how the wide receiver core is gonna come about.
Yes. So that is a big question mark there, but the guy from the 5th round, Brown, is it St. Brown?
Amon St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown Ra.
Yeah, 4th round pick.
4th round. He seems like he has the tools to really make an impactful difference, and I think that they stole him out of the draft. I honestly do. I think he's going to be that guy who's going to get you those catches like Marvin Jones.
He's a Galladay. He's the Kenny Galladay.
Yeah. But he's going to get you. He's going to get you similar production like Marvin Jones did. Even maybe not glorified numbers like Kenny Galladay in some of his better years. But yeah, I think he's going to be good.
But if TJ Hawkinson does what everyone's expecting him to do, that's going to make the wide receiver position real interesting, because you're gonna free up a lot of guys, get on single coverage, and because they're gonna have to focus on TJ and the run game. So
Quintez
Cephas, yeah, I mean,
George just chimed in right here. Said Cephas is going to get 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns is going to be his prediction.
He's got his ceiling is huge.
Bold prediction right here. No, hold on, I got a bold prediction right here.
Was that George's or a new one?
Oh no, this is a new one.
Okay.
Bold prediction.
Oh boy.
Papa Sloan.
Oh.
Browns, Lions in the Super Bowl.
You got that right here?
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
You got it right there.
Good old Joe Thomas, Dad. Little bobblehead.
That was Papa Sloan said that.
That would be unfreaking believable if that would be the case. Now I think half of that is.
But there is going to be a Super Bowl. I think on the 21st.
It's week 3 of the preseason. It's the Great Lakes.
I'm talking regular season. They're playing down at the.
November 21st.
Looks like we're gonna have to make a road trip.
Somebody's birthday weekend, and the Honolulu Blue and Silver Wave rolls into Lake Erie.
Derek says, was that an Eric Zaire bobblehead doll? No, it was not. It was a Joe Thomas bobblehead doll.
Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. Yes, I do think Cleveland potentially could make a run at the Super Bowl, but the Lions are
years away.
Yeah, I don't even begin to make an estimation on that, but Cleveland definitely has put themselves in a position. They made a lot of good off-season pickups, and I'm very excited for my dad in this upcoming season that his Brownies can their way to the Super Bowl.
All right, so what we need to do is we need to have a commitment right here from Papa Sloan. If we don't go to the game, Papa Sloan needs to come out and watch the game with us.
Well, here's a fun fact. Pops is a member of the Detroit chapter of the Cleveland Browns backers. And it takes place in Troy. I forget the name of the bar. They goes to for all the Browns games. There's little do you know, the Cleveland Browns backers is the #1 sports fan club in the world. There's more members of the Browns backers than any other organ. And this even goes into the beautiful Momo game. Yes, the Cleveland Browns backers. So for sure,
I'm gonna have to fact check you on that one.
Well, go for it.
I got some research to do.
Yep. So he goes and he watches the game with his fellow Brownies, and but yeah, that weekend, if we don't go, definitely we're gonna have to have in the house, Dad. I'll even come pick you up. It's a hike.
I'll pay for the Uber for you to get home.
Oh man!
All right. On to the next subject here. What? Yeah, exactly. What?
This one's a good one. I think last week's was pretty good with the dude, the energy drink guy, with the dented head.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Looked like he got hit in the head by what's the guy from Walking Dead? with the bat and the barbed wire around it. Oh, damn it!
I didn't watch it, but I remember
somebody in the comments has got to help me out there.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it, I forget what it is.
Somebody will pop up here in a second, I'm sure. But anyway, so let's get back to it. So our what for the day is there was a disturbance on a plane.
Yep.
This guy is a freaking moron. Negan was my brother said.
Negan, you're right. Yep.
Negan.
What was the name of the bat, Derek? What was the name of the bat? It was a woman's name.
Whoa, hold on here. Dad popped up and said, the pub and grill closed permanently. So you have no excuse of why you can't come hang out with us.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Sure, there's another one somewhere.
Those Browns, they rally somewhere, right?
Oh, yes. They're like cockroaches.
All right, so to get back. So actually we have two what's this week. So the first one I want to talk about is a guy on an airplane.
Oh, I didn't know we had a second one.
Oh, there's two. Yeah, there's two of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the first one is a guy on an airplane. I got the video. This guy talks so much shit about how much money he is worth and how much his parents have and everything like that. Dude,
it didn't get him anywhere, did it?
Dude, listen. Your parents might have money, but you ain't got shit if you fly in Frontier. I will tell you right now.
Is that the airline?
That is the airline. That is like the that's like the Goodwill of new clothes. So
you guys fucking suck.
Dude,
My parents are worth fucking $2 million goddamn dollars.
$2 million.
And you know what? You fucking suck. Yeah.
About your grandpa?
Yeah. You know what? My grandpa.
People are just laughing at it. They're just like, my grandpa.
The phones are.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and that's it. He getting beat down. Some guy stood up like he was gonna go after him, and his old lady pulled him down like, no, don't get involved in this. Dude, I'm telling you right now, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, if that isn't a lesson learned, hey, and do we know why he was making such a big presence?
All right, so he got on the airplane. He had himself a couple of drinks. He had gone to the bathroom. He had left the bathroom with no shirt on and was groping female stewardesses, flight attendants.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, they didn't take kind to that. And so they got him back in his seat, and then all hell broke loose.
Oh,
all hell broke loose.
What did he think?
You know what? That guy needs to go to jail.
Do you think that he felt like because his parents were worth over $2 million that gave him the right to grope?
I mean, is $2 million really a lot of money these days?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but in the grand scheme of thing, I wouldn't brag about it if I was this super douche on Frontier Airlines. Where was he flying to? I wonder.
So the guy was originally, I want to say he's from Connecticut.
Yeah.
He was flying from Philadelphia to Miami.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
douche capital of the world.
so according to Derek, the name of that bat is Lucille.
Lucille, you're right, Eric. I
Is
knew
Lucille.
I knew somebody would help me out
Yeah.
with that.
I know for a fact that my sister-in-law was a huge Walking Dead fan.
Yeah, I'm about 3 seasons behind.
I'm about
I think they're in the 9th season.
I'm all 12 seasons behind because Rich just doesn't care.
Rich doesn't stay up that late on a Sunday.
Rich just don't give a shit.
No.
All right, so the next one coming up here. So Dodgers game yesterday. Ball girl. It wasn't a ball boy.
Mm.
It was a ball girl.
You don't think you think ball girl, you don't think that
Yeah, you don't think that they can really tussle.
yeah. Bring the action.
You know, and this is I watched the video a couple times. I'm not going to say that everybody says she leveled them, but she did a pretty good job of getting hands out. Oh, okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Sorry about that.
That's sketchy.
Sorry about that.
Boy, we're having technical difficulties tonight.
I have no idea how that happened. But anyway, so the next video we got going on right here is from the guy. That dude was running, and she absolutely just laid a shoulder into him. And he flipped over the wall, and everybody was just cheering like crazy.
Was she like the left jab man?
No, it wasn't like the left
Just
jab, man. Yeah.
Out.
No, it was kind of like just push, and that was it.
So what is the penalty for something like that?
That's probably a misdemeanor charge, a $500 fine.
Night in jail?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're spending the night in jail.
Banned from the stadium?
And well, yeah, banned from the stadium, and a ass whipping that you'll never your face will get ground into the cement.
So you ever see that video of the ball girl that took the guy out over the wall?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me.
This guy right here.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
me.
yeah. I made her look good. We had an agreement.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is just like you look at that and you're just like
What possesses somebody to say, I'm gonna fucking
like
I'm gonna
streakers.
run
Like
the-"
what? Like
Yeah.
streakers.
There's
Okay.
only one that was ever worth anything, and it was the big boob chick, which
yeah.
oh, what
Yeah,
was her
I remember
name?
exactly what you're talking about.
Miss something. I don't
Was it during like
I know she got Sparky a couple times, and
yeah. Yeah, she
and,
jumped on there and kind of rubbed
and
her.
Tommy Lasorda and all those old
Those
timers.
old guys
Yeah.
motorboated those things.
Oh, those things were just
the old sailor you.
those are flotation devices. What are you
know.
talking about?
But you couldn't pay me enough money to do something like that. It's not worth it.
No, I
Here's
mean,
my thing is like my thing, like when I get drunk, going and running into a crowd like that or taking my clothes off and running around, dude, I wouldn't do that sober. I ain't doing it drunk.
I watched one a couple weeks ago. This dude, I mean, I think he was a running back in high school.
My brother said the Kissing Bandit was the name of the
Yeah. But she had a name.
Morgana.
Yes, Morgana. Yep. That was back in the 80s. But there was one I watched a couple weeks ago.
I wonder if the entrepreneur had a video of her. The video entrepreneur. I wonder if they ever had a video of her from last week's show.
The $1.99 special guy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good chance. There's a good chance. So yeah, there was one a couple weeks ago. The guy was
might have been on Betamax.
yeah, that was high quality back
It was.
then. He was running around. I mean, this thing went on for probably a good 5 minutes. He was shucking and jiving and juking, and then finally, I think he just wore out and gave up. He's like, all right, I'm out. Bye.
I'm gonna go lay down right here because this place looks so comfortable.
All right, I gotta piss myself. So.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, we're up against time.
We're up against
the time. But hey, so in a couple of weeks, it looks like we're gonna have a potential special guest. Potential. We're still working on it.
We're gonna have the son of former NHL goalie.
My brother said it may or may not have been there
Yeah, well, you
before the hustler
you
got
mean-
there.
the hustler.
The hustler, the entrepreneur.
The
It wasn't him.
entrepreneur, yeah.
It wasn't him.
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 Okay.
So you know what? It probably would have been good for me because I probably would have been able to see all of them, but it wasn't.
Did
it
you have a
wasn't me.
VCR hooked up to your little 13-inch TV that you snuck in?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Little Richard was well, maybe he was playing with Little Richard. Who knows? If so anyway,
Big negative. So anyway, so we could have a potential guest coming in here.
Thanks to Shit Yeah Andy, who works with the son of John Van Beesbrook, who's a former NHL goaltender. He works with him, and he wants to come and be a guest on the show. And we are going to explore what it's like to be the child of a professional athlete, to kind of see the world through their lens, and it's exciting. And he did say if Pops was in town, he would be here too. So fingers crossed. That would be awesome experience.
Free autographs.
Yeah, that would be really cool for you guys, viewers, and for us here at Speakeasy to have somebody like him be a guest on the show. So look for that in maybe in a week or two. I don't think we've hammered down a specific date, but very soon. And we do want to thank Andy for setting that up for us. And
yeah, Andy will be here for that.
Oh, without a doubt,
sure.
A doubt.
So anyway,
on that note,
we're out.
We'll see you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Easy Speak at Speakeasy 330. You can catch us every week at ilogicmedia.com, Apple, and Spotify. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Easy Speak Cast for the latest and up-to-date news. Cheers.
I'm going to go back on for a second.
Oh,
because as we were going through the exit, somebody had asked about a fantasy football show.
Oh,
so we're not done yet.
Okay.
Fantasy
Pump the
football.
brakes.
Fantasy football.
Fantasy football.
I don't know a whole lot about fantasy football. I don't have a great fantasy football record, so I'm really not the guy to have a show. However, maybe that's something we can do. I know a lot of fantasy football folks.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we could squeeze that in. Who made the comment?
Who do you think?
Fred Flintstone?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know the iLogic has a couple good choices for fantasy
if I'm not mistaken, they're getting ready to do a show here relatively soon. I want to say it's next week that they were asking if we would come on and talk about the NFC North and
the River City.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to set that up.
So we can set that up. So DJ, when we get it all set up, you're more than welcome to come out and join in on. Because we can just run it through us.
Sure.
I believe we should be able to do something like that.
We could go on for
we'll figure it out.
You know, who could be the sleeper of the week or who not to start, whatnot. I mean,
we can figure it out.
Yeah.
We can actually probably run the switcher through it so we can all three of us be here and then we can kind of go pretty much how we do a show.
Sure.
So
to be continued.
To be determined.
For sure.
All right.
So all right. Well, again.
We out.